Mallee here. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, hi, hello, welcome. Today's video I'm going to go through and show you some of the images that we captured while we were out adventuring to Lake Tyrrell, which is in country Victoria. In particular, we went out to the old bus, which is on the Mallee Rallee racetrack, and we were attempting to get a sunset, but it wasn't necessarily the greatest sunset, but I did get some starburst, which is what I've got here, which was kind of cool. So why am I showing you all these? I just thought you might like to see what the bus looks like and the whole area looks like in daylight, because once the sun had set, we took a couple more shots and then we hung around until it got dark. Then we met up with some photographer friends and we decided that we were going to go and play with getting some night shots or some astro shots and lighting up the bus in the foreground. So this is one that we got in one shot. So the settings were on ISO 3200. I was on a 24mm lens. I had my aperture at f4.5 and this is a 20-second shot. Now we were using the Zhiyun Fiveray M20C on 1% power, and we just flashed it up for like a second just to light the bus up. You can see where I still have some light pollution coming in from the background. There's some car lights and things like that. So we were playing around with lighting up the inside of the bus. So we also had like a head torch that we were trying to light up with, and we were doing things like that. We then put the Neewer RGB light stick inside the bus and we were using different colors. So this is the blue light. We also used like a pink light, a red light and a purple light. We used a white light, and we were playing around with different settings. So we actually had somebody in the bus because we could only have it on for a short period of time. So we had it turned on for about maybe 5 seconds. Then we lit up the outside of the bus and that was for about a second. So it really was a matter of playing around with it. We were getting some really good shots of the bus, and there's some really cool ones there. And then what I did to finish off the night was I turned off all the other lights and I just got a 20-second shot of the sky. So we're right at the end of the season for capturing the galactic core, so you can just see it through there, but we still did manage to get some shots. When it was the light painting, we were using still 20-second shot. I was at f5, but I dropped my ISO down to 1250. So that's it. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you what I did when I took it into Photoshop. Okay, so I grabbed both of my images and took them into Photoshop. So I just cleaned up, there was those distracting lights in the background, so I went through and I cleaned those up with the remove tool and pretty much left it like it is. I then put another layer in. So this is a new layer and I've just painted it with black paint. That's it. It's probably a little hit and miss, and I can come in and I can fix that up with just some black paint. I carefully removed it around the bus. So I don't have that. Now the reason I did that was I put my sky layer on and I've set it to lighten. If I removed the black layer, you sort of have almost like a double up of all of the lights because there's been movement. You've got to think that the night sky moves, and I don't know how long there was between the image that I captured at the bottom that I was happy with and the final image that I had at the top. So putting that black one in allowed me to just have those lights there. Now I could come in and still remove a little more. I might just... There we go. I also did a... Now if I zoom in, I'm hoping you can see this. It's still a bit grainy, but it's not too bad. So I took my background layer and I made a copy of that, and I did a high pass filter, so other high pass filter, and I did it about 3.2, and that just brought in the details a little bit stronger on the bus. I've got that set to linear light, and what I actually did was I masked everything out and then I just painted in the details on the bus. So if you see the area that I've got painted in there. I then did a bit of a curves layer to darken up the front of the bus because it was a little bit bright there, because I was standing basically right here in front of this bush lighting up the side of the bus. I then did just a curves layer just to brighten it up a little more, and a brightness layer which was more about playing with the contrast. I did drop the brightness down a little bit. I also did a hue saturation where I just bumped the saturation up just a little bit just to bring out all those colours. Now the one last thing that I could do is, if I do a merge copy, I could run that through something like Topaz Denoise AI, and I could get rid of the noise that is left in this image. So now that I've got it open in Topaz Denoise AI, I'm going to go through and decide on which I want. So this is currently set to low light, so that's the original image, and this is how much noise it gets rid of. I can play around with different settings. So there's severe noise, which probably softening it a little bit too much. I think I preferred it on low light, so I'm going to go back to low light and then I'm just going to hit apply. Okay, so that's the final image. This is without the noise reduction. Let's just zoom in a little bit, and that's with the noise reduction. So it has dropped quite a bit of that noise out, but overall I'm quite happy with the finished result. I probably could lighten it or brighten it a little bit. Sometimes you think that it looks okay on the camera or even on your screen, but when you put it onto social media, then it can darken up quite dramatically. Also, when you are printing, sometimes it's often a little bit darker than you think it's going to be. That's it for our adventure with some light painting with some astrophotography. Like I said, I'm not an expert at this, and I wish the sky was a little more in focus, but it's not too bad. But it really is a matter of practice, practice, practice. But when you don't get out to capture astro very often, it can be a little time consuming to set things up and get it going, but it really is a load of fun, especially if you're out there with some friends. So stay safe, travel safe, and thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time on YouTube. Bye for now.